Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, December 31st. And we're looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and Triple Qs. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a very healthy, happy, prosperous new year next year. Been a very interesting 2021. Thanks again to everybody in my trading room. I think I have a great room with the quality of people I have in there. Thank you to the people who subscribe and like to this channel. Come and join us in CamelbackTrading.org's room for 2022. See what we're all about, and you decide whether it's worth your $30 a month. Very, very quiet finish to the year this entire week. I think Monday gave me a little bit of a false hope with that range we had. Volume right now in SPY, 55 million. So we're going to be doing under average all week. Pretty tight range. Yes, we extended in M to probe. Here's an interesting thing. So SPY's up 27% or whatever it was for the year. And we have two downside price probes the last two trading days of the year. Right? You can't make this stuff up. Pretty interesting. We did not take out the IB high or low until late in the day. Russell never took out their IB high or low. Qs were the first one to take out an F, and then they also probe in M. We all end with wide pox again, just like yesterday. 12 wide for Qs, 12 wide for Russell, and 11 wide for SPY and ES. Yesterday's price probe held for us. It wasn't much of a trading day. I actually traded Russell a couple of times. In A period in SPY, I did take a short when we pushed up initially, when we had an inventory adjustment, just a small one, against the inventory adjustment and the price probe. If it had gotten high, I wanted to take a bigger lot, never did. But the small one of the 478 puts worked out. And then in C period, because we were one time framing down, took a short, the 477s, which also came in for me. Now, the best trade I had was in G period in SPY. It looked like the energy on the sell side just wasn't getting the job done. So as we were coming up, it looked like we were going to pop the top and attempt to get over the opening. I bought 50 of the 479, not 79, 50 of the 475 calls. Now, I didn't get all this because that didn't happen until later. I did well. I innovated, by the way. I didn't wait till we took out F's high. I innovated. So they were paying me before we even took out F's high. We finally took it out. Still got paid on some. I had some left. Came back in. Took them off. I made money on all of them. And then lo and behold, maybe 5-10 minutes later, they decide to start pushing even more. But it was still a good trade. As far as Russell, I took a long in B period. As it was starting to run, I took the 223 calls, a 20 lot, which paid me nicely, got out of them. I thought they might take out A's high, but took them off, and I was right because we came right back in. And then I actually took a 5 lot in K period, thinking we were going to go maybe attempt to start going towards the IB high. I held it through K, L, M period. M started coming in. I took them off for a loss. If I had held them, it would have went back up. I probably could have got out even, but I lost on that trade. But overall, it was an okay day, especially the calls I had in B in Russell and the calls I had in G in SPY. Destinations from Monday, the first day of the trading year, and I will be going all these charts after these destinations. Upside for SPY. B's low, price probe, 474.87. Then we're 11 wide at I's low, 475.87. Today's high of 476.86. And then you should have all the other ones. The price probe was 477.54 from yesterday. And you should have the other ones I gave you. Don't forget, yesterday's high is now a monthly high along with the all-time high. For the downside, we have today's low, 474.67. And then you should have everything I gave you to the downside yesterday, all the way down to the weekly low, which now Monday is the weekly low of 472.01. Now, let's go to the charts and break them all down. So let's start with Russell. Let's go to the monthly. Russell had a pretty tough month considering what they did last month, right? They ripped up to 244. This month they came all the way down to 208, but they come back and close at 226 towards the upper end of their range for the month. I'm sorry, they closed at 222, $4 off their high for the month. It's balance. That's all it is. Nothing's really changed. They stretched the balance last month, came back into it. This month we tested the bottom of it. Now we're basically smack in the middle, right? I mean, the original balance was March's range, 234.53 to 207. So we're firmly in balance in the monthly in Russell. Weekly, even we had an outside week up last week, which is bullish, but we didn't do much with it, right? Last week we closed at 222.04. This week we closed at 222.45. So even though we went higher, we closed only 40 cents above. I'm going to call this balance still because they never took out that 226.54 high. If we had taken that out, I would have called the weekly up. But I'm still going to call the weekly balance for 4 weeks. So monthly balance, weekly balance, and guess what? The daily is firmly balanced. We go back and forth through the 200-day moving average, 3 days this week. Closed below it, closed above the 20, below the 50. So starting off 2022, the Russell is a market waiting for more market-generated information as they're in balance in all 3 time frames. Triple Qs, monthly of balance. 2-month balance. Last month, this month. Weekly. Now, I don't like the way it closed, but the weekly did take out this whole fray up here. So I'm going to call the weekly up, even though we closed back inside of it. Obviously, if we take out this week's low, okay, then we go right back to balance. But for now, I'm calling the weekly up. And on the daily, I was calling this balance because we had taken out a lot more of the 27th than SPY did back on Wednesday. Now we stretched at 398.22. We actually took it out and closed below it. So I'll tell you what, I'll call the daily down now. If we had not taken out Monday's low, I would have called it balance still. But we took it out and closed below it. So the monthly is balance, the weekly is up, and the daily is down. And that's going to sound very familiar because SPY is going to be the same thing. Watch. However, there is a little caveat with SPY, NES. We do close with an outside month up. That's bullish. Okay? It's balance. We'll call it a 2-month balance even though this month's high and low is the entire thing of it, but it engulfs the previous month. So it's a 2-month balance, but it's an outside month up. We'll see if the bulls could run with that starting on Monday. Weekly, up. Closed above all this, weekly is up, right? And the daily is down. We were in a 3-day balance. We came out of it to the downside. It's down. So the market, as you can see, is undecided. Russell is total indecision because they're in balance in all 3 time frames. Meanwhile, the triple NQ, ES, SPY, and triple Qs have a lot of different things going on. The longer time frame is balanced, the intermediate's up, and the shortest one daily is down. So there's a lot of mixed MGI. We're going to see as 2022 starts if we get some kind of move directionally that puts all 3 of these time frames in the same direction. I hope you had a good day and a great year trading. Stay safe this weekend. Happy New Year. And we'll recap. We'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.